Today we will study about gastrovascular cavity and polymorphism in phylum Cnidaria. So what is gastrovascular cavity? Gastrovascular cavity is the primary organ of digestion and circulation in the two major animal phyla, that is Cnidaria and in Platyhelminthes. Okay, and this refers in a higher organism. Uh, this gastrovascular cavity is also known as the stomach. Okay, this cavity is extensively branched into system of canals. In some Cnidarian, uh, in Cnidarians, the gastrovascular system is also known as a synenteron. Okay, and it is sac-like cavity, and it is lined by the gastrodermis. Okay, it is commonly called as the blind gut or the blind sac, since food enters and waste exits through a same opening. Okay, so that only one that is they have the only one opening, that is the mouth, which is surrounded by the tentacles. And these tentacles are used for capturing the prey. Thus the digestion is extracellular plus intracellular also. Okay. Then we'll comes to the polymorphism. Polymorphism is the occurrence of more than one type of structurally and functionally different individual within a population. Okay, and for example, this polymorphism is a characteristic feature of the phylum Coelenterata. Thus, phylum Coelenterata includes a large number of colonies, and this colony shows different individuals with which different individuals having a different types of zooids, okay, in their life forms. Okay, and these zooids, for example, the two main or basic zooids in the phylum Cnidaria is the polyp and the medusa. All other type of zooids are modification of these two type of zooids. Okay, so in general we will study about the polyp and medusa. The polyp is a tubular body with a mouth surrounded by a tentacles at one end. Other end is a blind and usually attached by a pedal disc to the substratum. Okay, and these polyps are typically sessile, and they concern with the feeding, protection, and asexual reproduction. Whereas medusa is a bowl or umbrella-like shape with the marginal tentacles, and the mouth is centrally located in a projection called as a manubrium, that is on the ventral concave surface. Okay? During the study, we have studied the structure of medusa. In that, we have studied that they have two surfaces, that is concave surface and convex surface. Okay, so mouth in medusa is located on the concave surface. Okay, these medusa are generally motile and concerned with the sexual reproduction. Has this medusa and the polyp form are the two basic zooids of phylum Coelenterata, but they also show some modification of these two types. That is, polyp will be modified into uh, more three types, whereas medusa also contain more three types of modifications. Okay, polyp and medusa are in fact homologous structure. Okay, and from one another can easily derive. Okay, so they are homologous, means similar structure, but they perform different function. Okay, thus they derive from one another. Okay, for example, during the life cycle we have studied that polyp has a blastostyle. Blastostyle is one of the modification of polyp only, from where it has the birds. By the budding, it produce medusa. Medusa is a free swimming. From medusa, again polyp stage is developed. Okay, so these are the homologous structures but perform different functions. Okay, and they are derived from one another. So first, the modification of polyp. Modification of polyp. First one is the gastrozoids. This gastrozoids, or also known as the feeding zoids, it has a mouth. It has a mouth and has a large gastrocele. Okay, it has a long tentacles bearing lateral branches called tentilla. Okay, each tentilla end in a coil of a nematocyst. Okay. Second one is the dactylozoids. Dactylozoids are the protective in function. They're used in defense function. Okay, it looks like gastrozoids only, but it is without mouth. A coiled tentacles arise from the base, and the tentacle is unbranched. Okay. Then comes the third one, that is gonozoids. These gonozoids are reproductive zoids. They are called as a blastostyle. Okay, and they produces medusae by budding. For example, in Obelia, during the type study, we have already studied the gonozoids, that is blastostyle, how the blastostyle produce medusa and all. Okay, so gonozoids are the reproductive zoids. Gonozoids are the what it is, modified form of the polyp, and its function is to reproduce. That is, it reproduce medusa through the budding, and medusa is a sexual reproduction, shows sexual reproduction. Okay. The next one is the modification in medusa. First one is nematopore. Nematopore is a medusoid form, and its function is as a float. Okay, it floats on the water. Okay, so it makes the colony floating on the surface of the water. It is situated on the apex of the colony, and it is filled with the air. So it takes different shapes in different animals. For example, cup-like in a Helicostoma, then disc-like in a snail-like in Velella. Okay. Then another one is the modified form of medusa is the Nectocallis. Okay. This Nectocallis are bell-shaped. It has a mouth and tentacles. This Nectocallis is a bell-shaped, and it does not have mouth and tentacles. Okay, but it has well-developed musculature, and this bring about the locomotion of the colony. Okay, so Nectocallis is a bell-shaped without mouth and tentacles, but it has well-developed musculature, which helps in the locomotion of the colony. Hence, they are also called as the swimming bells. The next one is the hydrophilium. This hydrophilium is the medusoid form, and it is a leaf-like. Okay, it covers and protects the other zoids in the colony. Okay, then next one is gonopores. Gonopores contains gonads. Okay, so these are divided into two type of gonopores, that is male gonopores that contain testes, and female gonopores which contain ovaries. Okay, and when it reaches to sexual maturity, they releases sperm and ova. So after the release of gametes, that is a sperm or ova, the gonopores die. So once again we will revise. The polymorphism is the occurrence of two or more forms of life forms in a single individual. Okay, that is this is the characteristic feature of the phylum Cnidaria. There are two main type of zoids, that is a polyp and medusa. Polyp is the body and has a mouth and tentacles, and it is sessile and it is mainly concerned with the feeding, protection and asexual reproduction. Whereas Medusa is a bowl or umbrella-like, and it bears a marginal tentacles. Mouth is centrally located in the manubrium, and that is on the concave side or concave surface. It is motile and mostly concerned with the sexual reproduction. So there are again modification of polyps and medusa. Modification of polyps are gastrozoids, dactylozoids and gonozoids. These gastrozoids are the feeding zoids, and it has a mouth which is surrounded by tentacles, whereas dactylozoids are without mouth but it has a long basal tentacles which are used for defense. Okay? And gonozoids is the reproductive zoids which for example blastostyle in a obelia colony which produces medusa, which is medusa and gonopause which are the sexual which helps in the sexual reproduction. Okay? Whereas modification in medusa, there are 4 types, that is nematopore, nectocallis, hydrophilium and gonopore. Okay? So nematopore is a floating bladder-like situated at the apex of the colony, and it is filled with the air, just helps in the floating of the colony. Okay? And the shapes vary. For example, cup-like in a Helistima, disc-like in a Poripeta, snail-like in Velella. Then comes the Nectocallis. Nectocallis is the bell-shaped and without mouth and tentacles, but it has well-developed musculature which brings about locomotion. Okay? Then Hydrophilia is a leaf-like. It covers and protects the other zoids in the colony. Okay? And last is the gonopause. This gonopause contains gonads, and there are 2 types of gonads, that is the male gonads and male gonopore and the female gonopores. So male gonopores contains testes and female gonopores contain ovaries, and during maturity time they release sperm and ova, and once they release its gametes, the gonopores die. Okay? Then there are different types of polymorphism, okay, in a colony, that is dimorphic, dimorphic polymorphism, trimorphic polymorphism and polymorphic polymorphism. This for example in Hydra and sea animal, monomorphic is in which only polyp stage is found, but other cylindrid algae different types of polymorphism. But monomorphic polymorphism is also observed, that is the presence of only one life form or zoid, that is the polyp stage. For example in Hydra and sea animal. Okay? So we will begin in dimorphic polymorphism. In a dimorphic polymorphism, there are more than 2 types of zoids. Okay? The feeding zoids or the gastrozoids and the medusae or the nectopores that bud off from the stem or gastrozoids. These are dimorphic in which blastostyle are not present. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Sorry, in a dimorphic colony, what happens? It contains 2 types of zoids, that is a polyp and blastostyle. For example, in a obelia colony, during this type study, we have already discussed this type of dimorphic colony, and all. It is similar. So the colony which contains 2 types of zoid is called as a dimorphic. Okay? Then comes the trimorphic, where the 3 types of zoids are present. For example, obelia and medusa. Obelia containing medusa, that is polyp stage, blastostyle stage and medusa stage. Okay? And in polymorphic, colony contains more than 3 types of zoid. For example, Velella, Helistemma, Physalia. In this, there will be more than 3 types of zoids will be present. The 3 types of zoids means the 2 main zoids will be present, that is a polyp and the medusa stage, but there will be modification of other type of zooids will also be present. Okay? Then the origin of polymorphism. The origin of polymorphism, to explain this, there are two theories. Okay, they are polyorgan theory and polyperson theory. In the polyorgan theory, what happens? It is said that the different zooids of the colony are really the organs of the single medusoid individual. According to this theory, the polymorphic siphonophores are the most primitive existing coelenterates. Okay, whereas in polyperson theory, what happens? It states of the colony are only the modified polyps which have the power to reproduce the medusae. Thus, polyorgan theory states that the colony are actually the organs of the medusoid individuals only, and it have multiplied and migrated to form their primitive position to the current evolved position. Okay, whereas in polyperson theory, what happens? A single individual uh, in a colony, there is not a single individual, but the various part of the colony are modified individuals which have changed their structures due to the division of labor, and they have modified from the primitive zooids, that is the polyp. Okay, that's the two theories of origin of polymorphism. Then what is the significance? The last part is the significance of the polymorphism. The phenomena of polymorphism is essentially one of the division of labor in which specific functions are assigned to different individuals. Okay? And thus polyps are modified for feeding, protection and asexual reproduction, while the medusa are concerned with the sexual reproduction. Okay? Description of function among diversified individuals and the subsequent modifications results in a initial simple organization and the lack of organ specialization. Okay, so thus this polymorphism gave the colonies a competitive edge in protection and food gathering and eventually survival of the colony. Okay, so this is the significance of the polymorphism. So with this lecture we finish the phylum Cnidaria. From the next lecture we will study the phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, thank you.